The famous story of Bilal bin Rabah radiyallahu anhu. Bilal bin Rabah, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passed away and he died, he left the city of Medina. You know why? Because he said, I could not stand the city of Al-Medina without Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, I could not live in the city. I could not live in the city because every street will remind me of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Every other wall will remind me of him. Every corner of the city will remind me of him. I could not stand. And he goes to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and he said, "Adhinni ya Abu Bakr, give me a permission for me to move away from the city of Medina." قال ومن يؤذن لنا? Who else will call the adhan for us? He said, look for someone else. Look for someone else. And he said, but we want you here. And he looked at Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. فقال يا أبا بكر إن أعتقتني لنفسك فأنا ها هنا. He said, Ya Abu Bakr, if you freed me for yourself, I am still your slave and I'll stay. But if you freed me for the sake of Allah, let me go. And he let him go. And then he decided, radiyallahu anhu, to come back to visit the Masjid al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then he went to the grave of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he looked at the house of Aisha, where always used to come through that rawdah, smiling at Bilal, saying to Bilal, Arihna biha ya Bilal, comfort us with the salah ya Bilal. Arihna biha. And he cried. And while he was crying, weeping, فَإِذَا بِالْحَسَنِ وَالْحُسَيْنِ, and Hassan and Hussein, they came to the masjid, and he started crying more because Rasulullah loved them radiyallahu anhum ajma'een. And then he hugged them both and he started kissing them both radiyallahu anhum. And then they said, Ya Bilal, adhin lana. Bilal, just one last adhan for you to remind us of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi. Just one last adhan. And then radiyallahu anhu قال اعذروني, allow me, please forgive me, I cannot call the adhan. He said, just one last adhan. And then one of the people said, هما السبطا يا رسول الله, they are the grandchildren of Rasulullah, call the adhan for their sake. And he went to call the adhan. Allahu Akbar. And I can imagine the people of Medina, women, children, men, everybody came out of their houses. The people in the marketplace, they stopped selling and buying because they heard a voice that is familiar, who will remind them about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then the people of Medina came. Some of them were hoping that Rasulullah will really get up from his grave. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu anhu, he could not hold himself. I mean, we can never relate to that. Why? Because we live a different lifestyle. We can never relate a man who's dragging himself to the masjid to see where the voice is coming, hoping that Rasulullah will just get up. You know, magically just get up and say, I'm back. You know? And the people of Medina never cried like this from the dead of Rasulullah. Never cried.
لما انكسر مع الله في الدمع لم